Tara, the Hill of Kings, Legends and Wandering Sheep, now sits in County Meath, Ireland. While today it's mostly a place where tourists try to interpret ancient rock formations while getting photobombed by livestock, once upon a time it was the nerve centre of Irish royalty, mysticism and legends that are all 1000% definitely true 20% of the time. I am Ancient Swan. And this is the video all about the magic that is Tara. Research shows first signs of human activity on the Hill of Tara during the Neolithic era, around 3200 BC, more than 5,000 years ago, which was a time long before I was born. And probably you too. Not my mother-in-law, though. No. Activity at Tara continues for thousands of years, right through into the Iron Age, when the local folks invested their time in building monuments, earthworks and standing stones. A total of 20 monuments are still visible today, with a further 40 hidden underground but revealed via magical modern-day technologies, such as sticking a camera onto the bottom of an aeroplane. There is also a church and graveyard on the hill, but bollocks to them, I'm here for the ancient stuff. The Stone Age was a difficult period for our ancestors, banging stuff together with rocks and hoping for the best. No Wi-Fi, no Starbucks, and the closest thing to entertainment was a bard aggressively strumming a harp while screaming in your ear about epic battles and stupidly dangerous snakes. This was a time when status was measured in cows, warfare was basically a mandatory hobby, and everyone believed in magical stones that screamed when touched. More on that later. At the heart of it all was Tara, the seat of the High Kings of Ireland, essentially Stone Age Ireland's equivalent of the White House, Buckingham Palace, and a particularly rowdy outdoor music festival all rolled into one. I have zero information or evidence for drug use at this ancient place, but let's all just assume everyone was high as shit. You've probably also heard of Excalibur, the sword that only the rightful king could pull from the stone. Well, Ireland had something even weirder. The Leofeil, also known as the Stone of Destiny. Let's also assume I pronounced that Irish word wrongly on account of my Gaelic being utterly useless. This wasn't just a rock, it was the rock. Legend says that when a true High King of Ireland touched it, it would let out a mighty roar. Imagine running for office today, but instead of elections, you just walk up to a rock and wait to see if it screams at you. If it yells, then congrats, you're king now. If it stays silent, time to run away and look for a new career path. Seriously though, how can this have really worked? Because we both know that rocks don't scream, so it's impossible for anyone to have been a true king. So what happens then? Say you really are the king and you walk up to the rocks to start your best small chat, and it just completely ignores you. Like a prick, just sitting there silently, not even acknowledging you're being there. I guess you'd have to walk up the hill all on your lonesome. Make sure there's nobody around to witness anything. And then just walk back down like Moses with his stone tablet, all like, yeah bro, the rock totally screamed at me, was loud as shit too. Did you not hear it? I guess only a true king like me can hear the screams. Sucks to be you, I suppose. Anywho, since I'm king now, how about you get back to your work, lest you be dropped into a pit for asking stupid fucking questions. Or maybe you just walk up there with all your best bros, who you could trust to lie about hearing a rock screaming, and under the threat of having their bollocks lopped off and their skull ground to a fine dust should they be stupid enough to tell the truth. Or there's the possibility that rocks do really scream, in which case it behooves me to shut the hell up. It's probably one of the first two, though, if I had to guess. Historians say the stone was used in royal coronation ceremonies. But let's be real. If stones could actually scream, wouldn't modern Ireland still be using this as a method of government selection? Was this stone basically Ireland's first lie detector? I mean, sure, the only lie it could detect is the one where you tell it you're a king, but still, pretty nifty for the time. There's quite a few rocks in the place I stay, and they do nothing. Utterly useless things. Can't even tell the time or anything. Great for smashing neighbours' windows, but apparently I'm not allowed to do that anymore because rules and laws and blah 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 yada yada whatever, Trevor. Tara isn't just home to magical noise-making rocks, it's also got ancient burial sites, like the Mound of the Hostages. Sounds ominous, right? Like maybe it's where medieval bandits kept their prisoners while negotiating ransom deals. Nope, it's actually a passage tomb from about 3200 BC, right at the beginning of this hill's importance to Ireland's history. This ancient tomb contained the remains of almost 500 people, both under and within the mound itself. With a passageway alignment that, in that age-old habit of predicting the seasons, is lit completely only twice a year by the rising sun. Anyone who's stupid enough to be living within the tomb during any other point of the year will just have to sit in darkness like they bloody well deserve. Back in the day, the Celts also used this mound for burial ceremonies, particularly during festivals such as Samhain, an ancient festival that has been bastardized by modern capitalism and turned into that thing people call Halloween. Basically, people back then were obsessed with aligning graves with solstices and equinoxes, because if you're going to be buried, might as well do it with some celestial flair. And even though you'll be dead, the rats that eat your eyeballs will have a killer view of the Irish countryside. During this time, only certain high-status individuals were buried there, such as that batshit mental guy from earlier who thinks rocks are screaming at him. Some scholars believe the name Mound of the Hostages comes from the practice of kings keeping important people as guarantees for treaties. Essentially, medieval diplomacy was just glorified kidnapping with extra paperwork. Diplomatic letters basically followed the same template. Dear King Dave, I accept your proposal to take our sheep, but first can you please give back my children? During the late Neolithic or early Bronze Age, a huge double timber circle or wood henge was built on the hilltop. It was 250 metres in diameter and surrounded the Mound of the Hostages, presumably built like a kind of prison cell to stop that foreign king's wife from getting away again. And for almost 3,000 years, it remained much as it was. Rich folk walking up hills being berated by rocks, arranging their graves to face the sun and then dying in them. A simple life, an easier time. I wonder how I would have spent my time if I was alive back then. I doubt I'd be walking up hills and declaring myself king, because I'm not important enough. So what would I be doing? I guess I'd probably just spend my life dying as quickly as possible. Evidence also shows that the Romans were here, or at least someone who knew a Roman was here, or someone who knew someone who knew a Roman was here, because Roman artifacts have also been found on Tara Hill, proving that at least someone who knew someone who knew someone who knew someone who'd seen a Roman once nicked their stuff and brought it up this hill. But after almost 3,500 years of this, change was finally coming, just around the hill, as they say. And no, I will not apologise for that joke, so no point in asking. Fast forward to the 5th century and enter St. Patrick, Ireland's legendary snake-banishing, Christianity-spreading one-man powerhouse. When Paddy Boy arrived, Tara was still the stronghold of paganism, filled with druids' rituals and lots of questionable fashion choices involving robes and animal skulls. Patrick, deciding that subtlety was overrated, marched right up to Tara and set fire to everything sacred. As a statement. Specifically, he lit a paschal fire on the hill of Slane, challenging the pagans' Beltane festival. Now, if you're like me and had no idea what a paschal fire is, because I had to Google it too, then let me tell you, a paschal fire is a special, super-duper, fancy-pants name for a fire that is set at Easter, as part of the Easter celebrations, so there you go. The more you know. Thing is that at the exact same time as Patrick was setting the grass alight on Slane Hill, up over yonder on Tara Hill, just a wee bits away, the locals were celebrating the Beltane Festival, another religious festival that involves getting shit-faced, dancing, and also setting stuff on fire. So you can see how Patrick's fire on the opposite hill might have upset the local pagan god-botherers. The High King of Tara wasn't thrilled about it either, But instead of throwing Patrick off the nearest cliff, he let him stick around because honestly, the guy was winning followers faster than a modern-day TikTok influencer. Despite all odds, Christianity spread like wildfire. Patrick very famously got all the snakes to fuck off somewhere else, and Tara's role as Ireland's pagan HQ gradually faded. Whether Patrick used divine persuasion or just had really convincing PowerPoint slides, we may never know. By the 12th century, Tara's reputation as Ireland's supreme power hub was starting to crumble. Turns out, a windy hill wasn't the most practical place to rule from, and Irish kings started favouring actual castles with walls, roofs, and significantly fewer sheep. Political power shifted to other locations, and Tara became more of a symbolic site than an actual place of governance. Although kings had stopped ruling from the hill, Tara remained deeply woven into Irish mythology. Even today, conspiracy theorists insist that it holds hidden secrets, maybe even buried treasure, or a secret alien spaceship waiting to be dug up. If you're planning a treasure hunt, good luck. Despite having ended its almost 4,000-year reign over Ireland, excitement and adventures at the Hill of Tara were not over. There was still plenty of time to scream and shoot stuff. During the Irish Rebellion of 1798, a group of Irish separatists with guns built a camp atop the hill. Unfortunately for them, they were defeated by a British attack on May 26th of that year. It was at this time that the Stone of Destiny was moved to its current spot on the hill in order to commemorate the 400 Irishmen who died defending it. And in 1843, Daniel O'Connell, the leader of the Irish nationalists, held a peaceful demonstration on the Hill of Tara. This demonstration gathered a crowd of 750,000 people. Can you imagine that? Imagine the entire population of San Francisco, California, all just woke up one morning and decided to go stand on one hill in particular. 750,000 people all stood here, listening to a guy shout about how rubbish the British are, how kings and queens are bollocks too, and how nice it would be to not be starving all the time. 750,000 people. Just in case anyone's curious, because I was, so I checked. Last year, Glastonbury Music Festival 2024 had an attendance of 210,000 people. So fair play to Mr. Daniel O'Connell for gathering such a massive crowd, more than 3 times modern festival numbers. Now, I know that the 1843 demonstration wasn't officially a festival, but you're way off the mark if you think you're going to tell me nobody got drunk. 50 quid says at least half of them were lying on the ground, passed out in the heat. I bet they made Glastonbury look like an AA meeting. God bless them all. As an almost final note, some monuments at Tara were badly mutilated in the early 20th century by Jewish folk searching for the Ark of the Covenant. Which, just fucking come on. What an absolute bunch of pricks. Imagine just how much of a stupid prick you have to be to not only think that the Ark of the Covenant would even be at Tara, but also then to march up there with shovels and dig it all to bits. Bunch of absolute stupid fucking pricks. Today, Tara is a national monument attracting history lovers, mystical believers, and people who just want cool photos. Some of those people are also pricks, but at least they do the decency of being a prick without a shovel, which is a marked improvement on society, I think. Visitors to Tara come to touch the Stone of Destiny, as it silently sits there judging their life choices before they continue on to wander among ancient burial mounds and try to imagine what life was like when this hill was Ireland's ultimate VIP club. Sure, it's no longer home to kings, but Tara still holds a powerful mystique reminding us that history is best when it's equal parts epic and completely absurd. You know what else is equal parts epic and absurd? This video. That's what. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you wish to continue a life of happiness and joy. So what do we take away from Tara? Well, it does tick quite a lot of boxes on the cool places hot list. Ancient kings, check. Mystical rocks with questionable powers, absolutely. Religious showdowns, you bet. Sheep stealing the spotlight, always. And therefore we do all declare that Tara is legend. You know what else is legend? Much of the footage you've seen in this video is from the map I went and made for the game Cities Skylines 2. And if you feel like playing on it, then be sure to grab the map from the link in the description below. And if you need to see the map information before that, then keep your eyes peeled, because 3, 2, 1. Climate -3 to 19 degrees Celsius. Buildable area 94%. Outside connections, roads, rail, sea, air power. Natural resources, wheat 73 square kilometers, forest 118 kilotons, or 164 kilotons, oil 191 kilotons. Terrain, not that flat and not too hilly. And that's all for now, ladies and gents. That is our history lesson for Tara, Ireland. And I'm now in the process of trying to figure out what I've learned. I guess one of the things I've learned is that if you have something that screams at you, then it's a good idea to stick it way up a hill where you can't hear it. And as such, I've informed my wife of the future plans for her accommodation. Perhaps I've also learned what an Easter fire is, and also about a word I've already forgotten. What was it again? Parthage? Pathrak? I forget. Let me scroll back up this script and remind myself. Pascal, that's it. A Pascal fire, a bloody useless word that I'll never need to use ever again. So much for learning. Anyhow, it's time for me to end it all. And that's why the video stops here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to come back soon, and let me quickly mention the names of the world's most amazing Patreons, who are Anthony T, DD, George H, Stephen and Malichi I. Now then, I'm off like a Molotov. Peace, love and Tara. Goodbye!